Hey guys, Herzog's Hot Rods and Fabrication here. So today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to TIG weld a seam together. Two pieces of metal flat on each other. If you need to weld together a cracked piece like I did in this El Camino door, or if you're just trying to build an edge, or pretty much just anything on a skinny surface that's really fine and it needs to be TIG welded. So get started. So what I'm doing here, I'm welding with 18 gauge, and pretty much any rust repair or sheet metal work you're gonna do on cars is gonna be 18. I did the Mustang with 18, and yeah, so go cut yourself up a piece of 18 gauge steel. I got 12 pieces right here. I'm gonna use these scrap pieces and put them in your vise. And I'm gonna do this off camera because I can't do this with one hand. So I'll be right back in a sec. So I got my pieces of metal in the vise, and they are flush with each other at the top. And it's just a small piece, nothing too particular. Hook your ground up, because that's important. Once you're ready to weld, you got your welding helmet and everything, and got everything set up. I'm running an Eastwood TIG 200. It's an ECAC welder, so you can weld aluminum, stainless, regular mild steel, anything. And it's really good for sheet metal and welding together pretty much anything small that's not too structural. I got this little baby tank right here, and for gas I'm running a little under 20, and that's what you need for about sheet metal. You want like 25 for something a little more structural. And for wire, make sure you get super thin wire. I don't know what this is. I just had the guy at the welding store pretty much guide me because I'm not a professional, but I know what I'm doing. So that's the kind of rod you're gonna want to get. And it's only $6, and you can get like 50 rods. And it's a pretty good deal. So come over here to the bench again, and so yeah, make sure you got the correct wire, and make sure your tungsten is super sharp, because if you got balls of metal and stuff on your tungsten, it's just gonna cause you havoc and problems and whatnot. And make sure when you've got your gas and everything hooked up before you weld, make sure that the tungsten is pushing out gas, or else you're just gonna have a bunch of headaches. So just press the pedal, click. You can hear it. But, and again, sorry for the bad quality of video. Just starting out. Outlaw Edge from Minnesota Outlaw Customs told me to start a YouTube channel, so gotta start somewhere. So let's get welding. So pretty much all you're gonna do when you start welding up fusing the panels together is you're not gonna use any rod. You're pretty much just gonna get in a comfortable position with the TIG welder and be really soft and gentle on the pedal. And once you start melting the metal, just give it enough pedal where you're melting the metal. And once you start melting it, once you've got a circle puddle of melted metal, then move to the next spot. Once you melt it again, move to the next spot. So you're pretty much just rolling dimes. You know, once you weld it, just keep moving on. Melt it, keep moving on. Melt it, keep moving on. And we're not building anything here. We're just pretty much getting the metal just to fuse together. And for something like this, you don't need to cool the metal so it doesn't warp. But if you're doing something like on a car, like for welding an edge or building gaps for door gaps and whatnot, you're gonna want to cool that shit, because it'll fucking get off on you. So let's get welding. So again, I'm not using any filler rod, just using the TIG torch and melting metal together, rolling some dimes. And for something this small, you can go as long as you want, or you can go as short as you want. But just tag it together and just start burning it in. I'm melting the metal together and just keep going. Not adding any metal, just burning it in. And as you can see, we have a consistent weld, good penetration, beautiful discoloration, and we got somewhat of a bead. I don't know if it'll focus. We got somewhat of a bead, and pretty much just melted the metal from there, and just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Just drag it forward, bring it back, and you just want the metal to melt just a little bit. If you start putting too much pedal in, you'll pretty much just burn it down, and you won't get a straight line. It'll just duck under, and you'll have a huge mess. So that's how you fuse the metal together. Pretty much just being super careful on the pedal, not giving it too much pedal, and fusing it together and just rolling dimes back and forth, back and forth. And now I'm going to show you how to add weld onto there. So like if you're doing gaps on a car, like door gaps, and you want them nice and perfect, this is how you can add metal onto that with a TIG welder, or you can do that with the MIG welder, whichever you choose, whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever you're good at. So let's start putting some metal onto this and see if we can add to that. So I got my steel rod here for filling the metal. And what I like to do, I don't really like to dip it. I like to just lay it on there and kind of feed it vert or horizontal. So whichever is comfortable for you. If you like dipping it, like feeding it horizontally, then just do whatever you're good at or whatever you're comfortable with. And just make sure you're always feeding the wire. And if you feel like you're not penetrating it, or if it's not building, just keep giving it more wire. Don't give it more pedal, because it'll just, well, give it a little more pedal and a little more wire, and it'll kind of equal itself out. So. Look right there. We added about a 1/16 of an inch, and that's pretty good for welding door gaps. You can see the original weld is right there, where the penetration is. You can see how much we welded. And I wasn't doing a whole lot, I was just putting the wire in there and just feeding it. Nothing too special, nothing too hard. So there you go. That's how you TIG weld two pieces of metal on their faces together on an edge. That's how you add weld to get a better door gap and make it happen. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I'd like to give a shout out to Outlaw Edge on YouTube and Outlaw Edge Blade Works in Minnesota, Outlaw Customs. He's the guy who inspired me to kind of start my own business. I got my own business doing pretty much anything from rust repair on doors to custom sheet metal or just general welding. And right now I'm working on this 1979 El Camino door that I just finished up. It was cracked right here, and he just wanted me to weld that off, and he said do whatever else he wanted to do, so I decided to clean some of this shit off. It had Bondo on it and it started to crack and whatnot. And same here, it was just pretty nasty and didn't really look good, so I just cleaned it up for him and turned out pretty decent. Front side turned out pretty nice. Some dude ripping it. But yeah, I like to shout out to Outlaw Customs in Minnesota and If you're in southeastern Wisconsin, around Kenosha, Lake Geneva, if you have a classic car, anything you'd like to get custom sheet metal on, anything you can think of, or rust repair or whatever, you know, just give me a jingle on Instagram. My Instagram name is Aaron._Herzog, I'm pretty sure. Or you can find me on Facebook at Aaron Herzog. Or if you want to leave a comment in the comments asking anything, then let me know. But I'll try to start doing more of these videos, and I'm sorry I'm not an expert YouTuber, so the video is probably going to be shit for the first couple months, but right now I'm just doing tutorials, and just if you guys need help with anything, just let me know. Alright, that's it for today's video. See you dudes.